Thanks for tuning in to my inaugural address on Facebook.
Yeah, that's right. President Bush on Facebook, and today he gave his inaugural address to his hundreds of thousands of friends. The president joined Facebook last week to keep people up to date on his life after the White House. From president to Facebook friend. Come a long way, baby. People continue to talk about the amount of money Meg Whitman spent to win the Republican nomination for governor. She said, money well spent. Let's see what our next guest thinks. We delve into the Feldman files with veteran investigative reporter and blogger Charles Feldman. Hey, Charles, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Fred?
Good. You wrote about it in the Huffington Post. Why is this such a big deal? Why does it matter how much she spent? Seriously.
Well, first of all, I have this image of her, like, at night just printing money and then shoveling it into a bank account or something like that. It's important because it leaves open the charge that only rich people can now afford to run for high office.
But that's true. But that's true.
Well, yes, but, you know, it would be nice to at least live the myth that every now and then the people have some say in who their elected officials are, instead of being sort of shoved upon us by virtue of the fact that they have enough money to pay for very expensive television and radio ads. You know, look, we in the broadcasting industry, in the cable industry, we're making out like bandits in this. We're taking all this money from all these candidates. We just love it. But the downside is it's bad for democracy. Good for broadcasting, bad for democracy.
Well, wait a minute. It's great. It's great for a free market system. You got the money, you spend the money. Here's the thing that gets me with this. I mean, Poizner spent $25 million. Apparently that's a drop in the bucket compared to what Meg Whitman spent. And every time you just focus on the amount of money she spent, she had to let people know who she was. Well, apparently she did in a big way. What'll be interesting here, Charles, is there any amount of money that can convince people in this state to vote for her and not Jerry Brown? That's the question.
Well, I think when it comes time to November, it's going to be a very interesting contest. You know, she's the quintessential outsider with lots of money. He's the quintessential insider, and he's not exactly poor himself, remember. It's going to be a very, I think, hot race. I think it is going to be a very vicious race, and I will predict right now that we've already broken records in terms of money spent. We are going to break so many records by the time we get to November. So much money is going to be spent, we're going to be able to bail out the entire Eurozone.
Do you think when it's all said and done, he wins? I mean, I know it's very early now, but when you think about it, and everybody says, well, you know, it depends what the economy is nationwide. Yeah. I don't think any of that matters, quite frankly.
I think in the end, you know, when you spend a lot of money, sometimes that backfires. There are a lot of people who in this country have tried to buy their way into office, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I think that a lot of this is going to really depend on the economy. Right now, immigration is a hot issue, but I think as we get closer to November, if unemployment is still high, if foreclosure rates are still high, if California still looks like it's going down the drain and it's not really coming back to life, I think a lot of people are going to say we have a choice between an inexperienced rich lady and an experienced not-so-rich dude. Who we're going to pick? I think they go with the not-so-rich dude.
I thought you were going to say we have a difference between an experienced rich lady and a not-so-rich dude. We'll go with the inexperienced rich lady because she obviously knows how to make money. And you went the exact opposite way.
No, she knows how to spend money. She spent like $80 million. Why would you spend $80 million on a job that she's not even going to take a salary for? I mean, come on, give me a break.
And she said money well spent.
Yeah, well, for her.
Oh. Charles, thanks a lot. It's good talking to you.
Same.
Okay.